I don't want to be an independent woman anymore. It's not all that it's cracked up to be.
This message is for my future husband, so if you're not my future husband, please keep scrolling. Daddy, I don't want to work anymore.
So, I decided that I need me a sugar daddy, but I want me a sugar daddy that don't want no sugar.
That being this independent woman paying all the bills, like, that's ghetto. No, send my husband right now.
I don't know if anybody else has realized this, but this whole independent woman thing, I don't need nobody. I can do bad all by myself. It's feeling like a scam.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but the whole independent, I want to be independent. I got my own bag. Ladies, it's dead.
I know how Webby said. She got her own house. She got her own car. 2 jobs, work hard. You a bad broad. I don't want to be a bad broad no more.
I started my own business and I worked as a girl boss for 7 years. Now that I turned 30, I've realized that actually I am a very dependent person. Yes, I am independent, but I am someone who prefer depend on someone.
I quit at being independent. I don't want to do this shit no more. This shit is draining. I'm so ready to have a man come into my life and take care of me. My tires popped. 2 of my tires popped. And I'm sitting in my car because I don't know what the fuck to do. Obviously, I know what the fuck to do. But I don't want to do this shit no more. Like, I'm ready to have someone come into my life and take care of me. This shit is so fucking draining. This independent life. Like, I don't want to do this shit no more. I quit. Because every time something happens, I always have to figure shit out on my own. And I don't want to do that shit no more. Yeah. Y ya renuncio. Ya no quiero ser independiente. Ya. I want to be spoiled and taken care of. Because I shouldn't have to be stressing about shit like this. I'm tired.
In the modern world, the concept of being an independent woman is celebrated by modern women as a mark of strength and empowerment. But at what cost? Modern women sell you all the happy stories about living life on your own terms. But in a few years after exploring that life of independence, how many of these women still stand by these beliefs? Only a few are bold enough to come back to admit they were wrong.
I see so many TikToks talking about how being an independent woman is so much better, and it's amazing that you don't have to depend on anyone else, but I'm exhausted. I own my own house. I can pay my own bills. I work full-time 5 days a week. I'm a full-time single mum, and I think it's just exhausting because of how lonely it can be. So I go out, I go clubbing just to be surrounded by people, or my one night a week that I don't have my baby boy, and I'm lonely, and it's sad because all I do is cook, I clean, I take care of my son, and I work, and I hate this system, and I hate the dating scene. If you've been single, you know what the dating scene looks like in 2023. It's non-existent. It's a bunch of just people in hookup culture, and as much as I've tried to do that, it's not for me. It just makes me feel worse about myself.
I would like to take you through some important discussions. Stay with me. Being an independent person means a lot of things. Having to make choices, control your own destiny, and shape your identity. But the right way to define independence is taking responsibilities, which means independence is a burden. And the truth that I figured out is that independence is service to yourself and to others. An independent man has a dependent family, and his independence is not a Lone Ranger type. He has business partners, friends, parents, mentors, and all. He makes use of this people to improve his life through advice, finance, and a whole lot of advantages. This point is to show the depth of error of modern women as regards being independent and living life on their own term. At the same time, being independent is hard and draining, the need to stand on your own and build a life. This is why many men are depressed, tired, and frustrated, even why men commit suicide. Now, according to the physical and emotional buildup of men and women, it indicates that men and women are not equal, and each person needs to stick to their duty for the world to remain in balance. The Book of the Christians says in a portion of it, I quote, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." It says, therefore, shall a man by necessity become independent and build a home for his family. This is the reality of the men's world. Shout out to every man watching this video. You do your duty so well. Question is, what is so amazing about being independent that modern women are clamoring for? It's all a lie. You lot just don't want to be accountable and submissive to a man and have a man lead you. The most detestable group of this independent lot of modern women is those who have no special skills or education to work good jobs, and all they do is to sleep around to sort their bills or through OnlyFans. And then they come on podcasts or jump on their TikTok or Instagram claiming to be independent woman. Well, she does whatever sugar daddy wants her to do, so he can keep taking care of her bills. She does not look independent to me, does she? It's already hard being independent for men, but men persist and do it so well because they are built for it. And I cease not to be shocked at why these women are exposing themselves to the harsh reality of the men's world. Why are they wrong? What's the cold reality of independent women?
It was a mistake. I lived quite a feminist lifestyle for quite some time.
What do you mean you lived a feminist lifestyle?
I'm independent financially and all of those things, and I kind of pursued my career for a really long time. I pursued my academics for a really long time. I really appreciate all of that. I think as you get older, you realize how unfulfilling all of those things are, and when you're sold that dream for a really long time, you're so convinced that that can't wait, and you're so convinced that marriage, kids, and becoming all of those things that are more traditional can wait, and really biologically it's the other way around. So for me, I would say it's been a mistake.
Modern women believe they can be independent. Well, you can for a while, but reality soon sets in, and it is crazy how painful it can be. Number 1, all independent women end up being lonely. One thing I have always believed is that the void of lack of companionship is always a difficult one to deal with. No matter how far you have gone, humans will definitely need to look around and know that there are people that really care about them while an independent woman has achieved all the success she desires. There is always one thing she has lost, and it is time. The time to have loved, built a family, and watch your kids grow, while she was focusing on all of those other inanimate things like career, money, power, expecting them to be the source of her fulfillment. Then she discovers that she was living in fallacy, and one day the job won't need her anymore. And since she could not keep a man while she was younger and wanted, her chances to get a man now are about zero. Many independent women argue men do not want to be with them because they are insecure. That is very far from the truth. These women are basically saying a man has a chance of having some of his burdens lifted and he is not grabbing it. The issue of the whole matter is these independent women cannot be submissive, and they have developed masculine traits. Now there cannot be two drivers in a car. This is the reason why men will not take independent women, because no matter what relief you bring to a man, he will not trade it with the respect he deserves, since it is easy for these to let what they have achieved get into their head.
And here's the funny part. These girls, these strong, independent women, essentially become the man that they wanted in the first place. Ooh, they become a boss babe, they make this money, they become successful. And what women don't understand is when you become a boss babe and you make money and you become successful, what ends up happening is you take on masculine tendencies. You take on masculine traits. And guess what happens when you meet a guy that's actually masculine that meets a masculine woman?
Clash.
Yeah, it's a clash. And not only that, a guy like me, if I meet a chick that's like a boss babe or whatever, I put her in the sex only category. And here's the scary part. She'll never know it.
This is another of the cold realities of independent women. They cannot keep a man. I like to argue that the more successful a woman becomes, the more she realizes she needs a man. See all the super successful women like Hillary Clinton, Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey, and the list goes on. These younger independent feminist women believe men are their problems or their enemy. But what they do not know is that the outside world is just bloody and difficult. It does not respect men or women. Women that has gotten a chance to come close to it quickly see the need to submit to a man and have him rescue them, and failing to realize this is why a whole lot of these independent women cannot keep a man, and when they finally realize, it is too late because they are not as valuable as they perceive. Another point is that an independent woman cannot build a family, and if they do, all they want is to be a single mother. Some actually just get someone to make them a mother, and they keep the child to take care of so they can complete their independent women's circle. But at the end of the day, she discovers all the stress weighs on her, and she needs a capable shoulder to lean on. She finds out that all she wants to do is spend time with her child. But who is going to pay the bills? How is the child going to eat? She has to get to work. The determination slowly fades away. And now she needs a man to step in meanwhile. A man is actually respected for his ability to bring in resources for his family. And this is the reason why a man finds fulfillment in his ability to provide for his family, while a woman gets her own fulfillment and respect from the effort she has put in to create the happy family she has always had in her head. Independent women are trying to change the order, and they are paying for it. I read a comment from one of my subscribers one time. He said, although Western garbage is fast gaining on Africa, but in his country, women literally pray to God for years before getting married, that they do not marry a man that will leave them to bear the burden alone. And he said he is shocked that women in the US and other places are throwing the prayers of thousands of women in Africa away, claiming they want to be independent and do things on their own. He said women in his country are happy to be dependent and take care of the family, and if they have the chance, go to work. They do it to support their husband, but not at the cost of the family because that's their first priority. So it means that independent women are trading away the best things that can happen to them for a life of loneliness, boredom, and fake satisfaction. They never knew that it's too cold outside. There is a need to eventually come back home at the end of the day. But who do you come back to? That's all for today on Latest Juice. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like my previous videos. Don't forget to hit that like button, click the subscribe button, and also turn on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. Share this video to whomever you would like to watch it. Thanks for watching.